Hi, and welcome to Sunday with Mike. On today's show, we're going to cover some helpful music charts, protecting your gear, Dave's uplighting trick, and some help with trying to keep your emails out of your client's spam folder. Grab yourself a cup of coffee and join me. I'm going to be right back. You know, as we begin 2018, it should come as no surprise that a few companies have released their 2017 top song lists. Since DJ Event Planner is one of our sponsors, yay, thank you very much, I'm going to use their list. Here's a screenshot of their online list of the top 200 songs from 2017 in the order of popularity. So why is this list a big deal? Well, I found it really helpful to create a playlist in my DJ software with these lists and many of the others that they offer and save them. This way, if you're at an event and you get stuck, you can always take a look at these playlists and it could help you to keep this party going. They also have lots of other lists on their website too. I highly suggest making as many of these playlists as you can to help you at your events. For example, if you click on the Decades button down at the bottom, you'll find the top 30 songs from each decade from 2010 all the way back to the 50s. So the next time someone walks up to you and says, "Hey, why don't you play some 80s?" you've got a handy playlist of the top 30 songs from that decade. You could say to yourself that, well, you know, I can just visit this list anytime online, so I really don't need to create any playlist. My advice is to never, ever count on the internet when you're DJing. It's foolish to think that it will always be available because you will be disappointed. Take the time and create these playlists in your leisure. That way, they're stored locally on your hard drive and would always be available to you. In addition to that, by creating the playlists, you can play any song that you're not familiar with in your library and get to know more of your music. This can help you on your events as well. This list also has the most popular songs used for weddings, their formal dances, toast, bouquet and garter tosses, etc. So do yourself a favor and check out the link that I've placed in the description for you down below to check out this website.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
I wanted to discuss something with you that I've never fully understood. Since most DJs buy and sell their gear after a few years of use, why wouldn't you want to try and make it worth more when you sell it? I'm talking about taking care of your gear to the absolute best of your ability. That starts with buying covers and cases to protect it. Yes, I know that it adds a lot to the purchase price, but let me ask you something. If I had a piece of gear for sale and you ran into my ad and it said it was in great condition and you came by and you looked at it and you see that it's got some scuffs and scratches and a few dings on it, and I was asking top dollar for my equipment, would you buy it? I wouldn't, right? I mean, you have to take all of that into consideration. So I would have to drive the price down to make it worth the abuse from the former life that it had with you. So what if this time it was listed as in great condition, you came over and you see that it's in a case or it has a cover on it and it looks just like it did when it was brand new on the shelf? I would buy it and would pay top dollar for it because I would believe that not only does it look good, but you really did take care of your gear. People always tell you that they take care of their stuff when they're trying to sell it, but for me, if they really value their equipment, they'll spend the extra money to protect it. So the moral of my story is simple. If you want to get the maximum resale value for your used gear, then take care of it from the beginning and make the investment to protect it. Besides Google and searching for covers and cases, you can also find soft covers for speakers and gear at a place called tukicovers.com. It's Tuki covers, and I'm going to put a link for this down in the description column for you. In the past, I have found some great cases at odd places like Harbor Freight, Home Depot, Lowe's, and Sam's Clubs. It doesn't really matter where you buy your cases or covers or what brand you get. The idea is to simply protect your investment and its resale value. Do you ever use your uplights in sound active mode? I do this quite often, and I've never really given it much thought. I like the random patterns that each light is doing its own thing while it's in sound active. I was recently talking with a DJ friend of mine named Dave, and he explained how much he disliked the random light patterns when his uplights were in sound active mode. He liked the active part, but not the random colors. He wanted them all to be the same color. I would have thought that he would have needed a DMX controller to get away from the random colors, but to my surprise, he found a great little trick that allows him to do this without needing a controller of any kind. He modified his uplights with the small $10 DMX wireless boards that we talked about in a previous show. It's just the raw board that you install inside, and it makes your light, your fixture, DMX compatible. And you can order those things from eBay. So what he did was he made the unit closest to him, his physical location at the venue, the master unit, and put all of his other uplights in the slave position, the slave mode. And he uses the small little handheld remote, the IR remote that came with his lights, to change the first unit, and let's say to a solid color. And then all of the slave units would respond by matching that command, so now everything is the same color from the master. Later, when he wants sound active mode, he selects that feature on the master unit with his remote, and boom! Now all of the lights are in active mode, repeating exactly what the master unit is doing, and they're all exactly the same color, and he got his results that he wanted without a controller being necessary. While that is a pretty cool trick, it was not enough to make me consider going this route and modifying my lights this way. Then a few weeks later, one of our mutual friends got his uplights modified to repeat the experience because he wanted to do what Dave was doing, but he made a demo of his lights and he posted it on Facebook. What happened in the demo was that he happened to select strobe mode, and that really got my attention. So imagine the lights flickering at whatever pace you want. It doesn't have to be strobe light fast. You don't want to cause any seizures or anything. But just a strobing action to get the attention of everybody in the room. So imagine having a solid color in the beginning of an event. Let's say it's a wedding. And then as you introduce the bride and groom, the uplights start flashing. And then they go back to a solid color for the rest of the formalities. And then when you get to the dancing portion, go into sound active mode, and you never needed a DMX controller. And to me, that was pretty impressive and worth sharing. So thanks, Dave. You know, every day it seems like I'm having to tell someone that I've sent an email to please look in their spam or trash folder because they didn't receive my email. I have no idea how much money I might be losing each year because I didn't hear back from a potential client, but in reality, they never saw my email, so they think I dropped the ball. I'm not sure what's going on with this. We did a show on this topic, and I covered the basics on how to avoid this problem, but it's still happening to me on a daily basis, and I'm still working on trying to perfect this. Recently, I was reading an old thread in the Facebook group called DJ Idea Sharing, and I found some really helpful information. Someone was having a problem with their emails always going into the spam folders, and they made a post looking for reasons for this or if anybody had a cure. Well, while nobody had a cure for it, there were some very helpful links and resources that got discussed in this thread. And I'm going to post the links for these things in the description for you so that you can visit these websites for more study. The first website, I really like this one. It's called isnotspam.com. And what you do with this is you submit your email that you want to send to somebody, and it gets tested, and you get the results right there on screen on their website. The service is free, and it's very, very detailed. So you wouldn't want to do this for every email that you're about to send, but let's say that you were going to do a mass email for a bridal show list or something along that line, a newsletter. This is the perfect first stop to make sure that there isn't anything in your email that's likely to trigger the spam filters. The next website that was mentioned is called sorbs.net. This website will ask you for your IP address or your website that hosts your emails. You enter in the information, and then it will check that information against a known blacklist of IP addresses that have known spammers and troublemakers, and will give you the results. This again is a free service, and you will find, if you find your IP on a blacklist, then you can follow the instructions for how to get your IP off of that list. And this will help a lot in getting your emails directly to your clients, especially if your server is using that website's list to determine if you're a spammer or not. The final website that I found interesting was called dnswl.org. This site is the opposite of the last one, and it uses what's called a whitelist, meaning, hey, you're okay, you're approved, let it go through. I would highly advise each of you to spend some time reading the information on all three of these websites. If you can improve your delivery of your emails to your clients, then you can make more money and spend less time resending emails over and over. So that's going to be my show for today. I hope that you'll share it with your friends. Give me your thoughts down in the comments section down below, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up if we've taught you anything new at all. I'm still saving a seat for each and every one of you that have not joined us in the Sunday with Mike Facebook group, and we're also taking questions for topics there. So if you have a topic suggestion, join the group and let me know what you'd like me to cover in a future show. That's going to be it. Thank you. See you next week.